This is the WiderCat 92 and it is the widest wider ever. It is just under 40 feet wide, and to give you some context, that's 15 feet wider than a Ferretti Infynito 90. It's not just about the width though, it's got a hybrid propulsion system and two, yes, that's two of the coolest VIP cabins I've seen for some time. Let's go and check it all out. I'm Jack Haines, welcome to YachtBuyer. Before we get on with the tour though, why not subscribe to the YachtBuyer channel, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon, and you'll never miss one of our tours. Right, let's get on with this one. Down here at the waterline, it's not just the width that strikes you, it's the height. This thing truly is vast. And right down here we have a big tender garage as well, big enough for a 5.5 metre tender on its own, or a 4.5 metre tender with a jet ski. This boat, I believe, is going to have a Williams 505 diesel jet. I'm actually standing on the door. That comes down to become the bathing platform. And as you can see, you've got this quite nice zip-in section with the boat's name on it, which you can get in and out of, but it just covers up all the gubbins if you want to have the door down, but you don't want to have to look at all of it. Let's head to the cockpit. There's equal access up both sides of the transom, and then you're hit by the enormity of the symmetrical side deck. So big, in fact, you can even fit a sun lounger on them. And there's a great use of shapes on board this boat. It's very striking on the outside, and you see a lot of that profile picked out elsewhere. You can see it here down the side decks, the way the stairs are integrated here. And the stairs themselves are very nice too. Really chunky teak, big wide treads, very easy to get up and down between the decks from this area, though there are other passageways inside as well. And this is a lovely big space. Look how much room there is between the two separate tables, and a lovely big lounger out the back as well, so you can relax in the shade of what is a very, very big overhang. But this is a really nice spot as well. I always find myself gravitating to these spaces, especially when the boat is moving along, because it's just nice to sit here, look at the wash pouring out the back of the boat, and you're so well protected as well. The way you have this section here, that's glass, so you've still got the view, but it just means you're not going to get buffeted by the wind. It's a really nice place to tuck yourself in whether the boat's moving or whether it's not. Let's head inside. The size of this interior is striking, but so is the colour palette. We have green flooring, and again we get those asymmetric shapes that we've seen on the outside, on the floor, but also picked up above the television, over this mirror here. This sort of mirrors the profile of the boat as well. It's a really cool effect. I love this big round table in here, very sociable, as good for dining as it is for having a drink or playing cards, anything like that. And this lovely light fixture as well. And we have this roundel in the ceiling that is repeated elsewhere throughout the boat. All seating over here on the starboard side, and there's just so much space to move around when you have this much beam to play with, so much so that you barely notice that there's a dayhead tucked down the starboard side there. But I want to bring you forward, because forward on this deck there's something quite special. Would you look at this owner's cabin, the size of it, and look at that view, the size of the window. It is spectacular, and it's huge too. Look at the headroom in here, and a lovely big bathroom too. Massive shower cubicle with views out over the water, lovely marble sinks, toilet bidet, the works. It's vast, and there's masses of storage as well. Down here, over on that side, almost wrapped halfway around that side of the cabin, there is plenty of storage, and I love the way that the bed is mounted right in the middle of the cabin. Very easy to move around. The floor is totally flat. It's a big bed as well, with space for two really large side tables on either side. Beautiful detailing as well. Leather all over the bedstand, and we've got that same motif up in the ceiling that we had over in the saloon. But really, it's all about how comfortably you can drift outside onto what feels like your private terrace. The other nice thing about this arrangement, it's about 25 degrees in Venice today, and the amount of natural breeze coming through that door into that cabin is lovely. It's really, really nice effect. And okay, this isn't strictly private because you can see the side decks lead down to it, but it feels private. And in the morning, when everybody else is in their cabins in the hulls, you as the owner can come out here, have a coffee, and enjoy this wonderful space to hang out. Now, it's not often that the VIP cabin supersedes the owner's cabin, but that might be the case on the WiderCat. So let's go and have a look. Another nice element of the owner's cabin on this boat is that you have this owner's pantry. We've got a nice sort of galley top here, storage underneath and above, space for a coffee machine and a very big drinks cooler as well. So if you do want to go and enjoy that terrace, you don't have to go too far to enjoy a drink. And heading aft, we have a few access points here. So the galley and crew space is down to that side. This staircase leads up to the bridge, and they have staircases either side down to the guest cabins. And we're going to start down in the portside VIP. Yes, this is where things get really rather tasty if you're a guest. Look at the size of your cabin for a start and the size of your bed. The detailing is lovely, red leather in this one, and I really like the detailing around the lights as well, the leather over the bendy reading lights. That's a nice touch. Big bureau opposite and a lovely patch of hull window, so natural light is pretty good as well. Storage is good through hanging wardrobes over on this side, and it has a big private bathroom, but the best is yet to come. Because through this watertight door, with the platforms down on either side, you can come straight out onto what is effectively a private terrace. Look at this in the morning, straight out into the water, paddleboarding, swimming, without having to go up through the boat. It is absolutely remarkable, and it is what makes it feel like a proper beach club because it connects to the main platform and it also connects around to the other VIP cabin platform too. So you can go and knock on your neighbour's door and go for a swim together in the morning. Now that's wider. We're over in the starboard hull now, and aft there's an identical VIP cabin too. In the portside hull, same access out into the beach club, it's absolutely the same. And this is the third guest cabin on board the yacht, and this was specifically designed for the owner's daughters. And I love how all the cabins are themed. One is red, one is green, this one is pink. If you're a guest on board, you can say, yeah, I'm in the green cabin. But this is a really lovely space. Obviously, it's got individual beds with a big amount of space between them to stop them squabbling at night, but it's got the same lovely details, the leather covered lights up by the bed head there, nice little bureau and storage on both sides, and a beautiful bathroom. And this one has of course got pink marble in the sink. Right, let's head upstairs now to the bridge deck. Let's start in the bridge itself, shall we? Because aside from the driving position, this is a hybrid boat, so there's plenty to discuss there too. You're a long way forward, you don't feel like you're on the size of boat you are from this position, though you have got cameras here, so if you did want to do slow speed manoeuvring from in here, you could do that using the cameras, but there's also a remote you can plug in at various points at the aft end of the boat when you're doing stern to mooring. Now, onto propulsion system. Happily, we've got this diagram here which makes things quite useful. We've got an electric motor, which is what these throttles are directly attached to. We've got twin generators of 360 kilowatts and a 360 kilowatt hour battery bank. The motors are 500 kilowatts each. Effectively, the system will juggle all of these various power sources depending on what you're doing with the boat, whether you're cruising at 6 knots, where you may well be able to do that on pure EV for about 25 nautical miles. If you want to cover more ground, it'll bring in the generators to top up the batteries, and at 10 knots, you're looking at around 1,300 nautical miles cruising. Of course, if you're stationary, the solar power comes into play, and hopefully to run the boat systems in peak conditions, you've enough power to top up the batteries using those rather than having to fire up the generator. It's all been developed by Wider. I know what you're thinking. It'll be lovely to go into the engine room and go and look at it, but we're not allowed to do that at the moment. So we'll just have a imagine for now, but you can at least see through this diagram how everything fits together. And it's very useful that even here on shore power, you can see how all of the power is being balanced and what's being used and how much is being used. It's clever stuff. Right, let's go and have a look at the rest of this deck. Immediately behind the bridge area is this really rather lovely upper saloon. This is much more contained and intimate than the one downstairs. A lovely place to have a nightcap if you've come in off the aft deck. A lovely place to sit and watch the TV, some sport as well. And notice again, we've got these angles picked out like we have downstairs. I really love the way they've worked the themes into this boat. And if we head aft, we're out onto what is a lovely upper deck area. I really like this part of the boat. This is the place you want to be on a warm summer's evening. Look at the size of this bar. It's a fantastic entertaining space, lots of space around it for guests to sit on the bar stools. And you've got a great view from up here, of course. Nice comfy lounges either side as well, so you can enjoy your drink in comfort. yeah, this is a really, really cool space. And again, very well protected. And I mentioned up in the bridge, there are places where you can connect the control if you want to drive the boat from back here. Well, there's one of them there. So you could, with the remote, drive the boat stern to from this position here, which is quite handy for stern to mooring in the Med. I'm going to head down this side deck, but before we do, there's something else to lift up and enjoy, which is, oh, the grill. Of course, you've got to have somewhere to cook as well as make drinks. That's quite nice that that's separate from that bar, so you're not covering the guests in smoke, and you've got some storage down here as well. Let's head forward. We have yet another pair of enormous side decks up here and some lovely big mouldings as well, some nice shapes to enjoy, and it's broken down here too, so you can just get glimpses of the sea as you pad up towards yet another enormous foredeck area. There's some storage underneath the windscreen there, and there's also storage for a couple of jet skis up here if you want. That's what the crane's for. If you want more toys, you can fit the tender garage, they can come up here. And then this little swathe of sun pad, the perfect place to soak up the evening sun here in Venice. And talking of soaking up the sun, this boat has got 170 square meters of solar panels on board, including beneath my feet, both on this deck and the deck below, up on top of the wheelhouse as well. That is how they've tried to maximize the solar benefit aboard this boat. Now, as we'll see in a moment, there is a separate crew mess with a little galley of its own, but this is the main ship's galley, which does connect down to that crew staircase there. But obviously it's up here on the main deck, so very easy to serve guests. Guests can come in if they like and use the facilities. It's also connected out to the port side deck with the side doors, so crew can come in and out without having to go through the saloon if they don't want to. And it's a really good space. Lots and lots of storage, plenty of countertop, induction cooking and oven, microwave up here, and a lovely big fridge as well. It's very neatly done. It doesn't feel like a crew area, it feels like a guest area because it's so nicely finished. Lovely space. Let's head downstairs now though and have a look at where the crew hang out. The crew cabins are split across both hulls. We're in the port side hull now, and here we have the captain's cabin. So that's got a single bed below, but there's a Pullman above if you do want to sleep a second person in here. It has a private bathroom as well, a little bureau, and a good amount of hang storage just inside the door here. Behind me though is the crew mess. And I'd say this is pretty good for a 90-footer. It's got all the mod cons, there's plenty of space in here. You've got really good oversight as well. You've got control of the boat systems plus cameras, so you can keep an eye of everything down here. There's a bit of natural light and a dinette with a drop-down table too, and they've got a TV up here as well. It's a pretty nice space really for a boat of this size. What to make of the WiderCat 92 then? Well, its sheer size obviously speaks for itself, and there's lots of very impressive technology, though we're going to have to wait to see trial it to work out whether all of that stuff works as promises. But for me, what really stands out is that this is a yacht that doesn't just focus on the owner, and it has a huge onus on the comfort of guests. And that is a bit of a refreshing change. Thanks very much for watching that tour. Please give the video a like if you did enjoy it. And if you want to watch more solar catamaran stuff, then we did the Sunreef 80 Eco Power in Fort Lauderdale. I'll put that video for you up here. We'll put some sea trials down here for you. And if you would like to subscribe to the channel, you can do that by clicking up here. Thanks again for watching. I'm Jack Haines. This is YachtBuyer.